Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. This is the week of July 13th, 2023. Current challenge is Arkham Knight, the Arkham Knight. It's a 1 week repeat. I love those names where the universe is actually part of the characters' names. Anyways, required characters are Green Arrow, Green Lantern, and Superman, who are available as bronze, and gold, respectively. So, not the easiest entry point, but at least none of them are challenge characters, and they're all available in the store. Passive is Drone Strike, achieving plus 180% on the Gotham Knight special attack calls in a drone strike, dealing damage to the entire enemy team. He's got 1100 attack and 1200 health. Last available September 15th, 2022. So he's got medium, high-ish kind of stats, and I used to always think his passive was okay. I mean, for practical purposes, getting more than 180% is the same as getting 200%, because in that sliding target minigame, 200%, and the next step down is 166%. So there's nothing in between. You really have to get 200%. The good news is that the 200% area is bigger than anybody else's, so it's reasonably easy to hit 200%. And that Gotham Knight special attack, that's his special 2. So his special 1 kind of sucks. It can only knock out opponents on the last hit. His special 2 is not limited that way, especially if you get 200% on his special. The drone attacks can hit the next opponent if the first opponent is knocked out. Now, the posted damage on his special 2 looks like it's reduced by 14% compared to other cards with the same damage stat, which might be the cost of doing splash damage, or it just might be that it's an error and they've just put the wrong number, because I've seen people reporting that the amount of damage on his special 2 is actually higher than what's stated. But the real glory, at least the unique part of Arkham Knight, isn't in his special or his passive. It's his basic attacks. His tap combo ender is 3 hits. Excellent for any gears with combo ender effects. So instead of the usual, the basis being the attack stat 2%, 2%, 2%, and then combo ender is 3, he does 2, 2, 2, and then 3, 3, 3. So that is a total of 15% damage if he gets a combo ender versus the usual 9%, which is the equivalent of a 67% boost to basic damage. Or 2/3 boost. His swipe combo is ranged. It doesn't matter how close or far away your opponent is, it will hit. He also gets more than 3 swipe combo hits. Instead of 444% for a total of 12, he goes 444, and then he does another 433. And if you notice, that's 6 hits. It means that the combo ender of the tap combo, even if you get it, doesn't offer any kind of advantage for increased number of hits, increased power generation. You're just doing less damage. You're getting one full swipe combo gives you 22% of his attack stat dealt as damage versus the usual 12%, which is an 83% boost to basic damage. So he's generating more power because each hit generates power. He also does more attack on a basic attack combo than a regular character with his attack stat does. And there's one other funny thing about his basic attacks. If you only take the first 2 swipes of his swipe combo and don't complete it, you can maintain and sometimes increase the distance by starting a new swipe combo. So don't finish it with after the first 2 swipe. It shoves them back. And then you can keep on doing that infinitely. You've got to be just late enough with the new swipe combo not to trigger the completion of the first swipe combo. And you've got to be quick enough to start a new combo before they run at you. We've got a link in the description to demonstrate this. So the interesting thing with this experiment we've been doing of using each challenge character in the week of their challenge, I am developing a really a new appreciation for Arkham Knight as a specialist. It's very tempting to make him the basic damage dealer because of his unique passive that lets him do so much basic damage, as if his attack stat were 67% or 83% higher than it actually is. But in a meta the strategy where the star on your team needs to have high damage output that comes from specials, if you use him for basics, he is not going to be the star. He's going to be effective. He's just not the star. So in the past, we have used him for basics, but today, in the footage that you're watching, he is a specialist. And you can see how effective and useful his drone strikes can be. And we've added Enchantress Companion gear so that we can use the skulls to just do more follow-up special damage even when we don't hit 200%. It makes it easier to chain another Special 2 unblocked when 10-2 Totem gives him his power back. And Arkham Knight's ranged swipe basics are really helpful here too, because we're giving him 10-2 Totem, we're giving Master's Death card. The third gear is Enchantress, so we are not boosting basic damage. We need to get some attack in to generate a little bit more power. And it doesn't matter how far away Master's Death card shoves the opponent. The opponent is never too far away to get hit by the swipe combo. And that generates enough power to top us off to 2 bars. We got our special 2. Minor problem, well, not really a problem, but minor sort of tweak. And it's only an issue if the opponent has a bar of power to start, is that you've got to get in close to the start, as opposed to his basic swipe combo. You've actually got to get in close for his special 2 to connect at the beginning. But a lot of fun. He's actually pretty darn good on this team, and he is the star when you make him the specialist. So it's total now of 163 weeks of a repeating pattern that first appeared May 2020. We have had 3 complete runs of a 43-week cycle plus 34 weeks in the 4th cycle. And if the pattern holds, next week is going to be Blackest Night Batman. So that puts us from the start when we started doing these challenge character demos in the weekly recap, November 17th. With the 3 interruptions, we are 11 away. So those 3 interruptions plus another 8 to bring us back to the beginning of when we started from doing demos of all the challenge characters. And I mean, it would actually be maybe 9 away because we've demoed a lot of those others before, or not a lot, a couple, Arkham Knight, Batgirl, and New 52 Superman, but it just wasn't during their challenge weeks. And a reminder that there's still 23 challenge characters that are missing that haven't been seen since before May 2020. This week's multiplayer reward is Ares, and his passive is To the Death. When Ares performs a Godsmack special, it shocks opponents, causing them to lose the ability to block for a limited time. Attack is 1200, health is 900. He was last available December the 8th, 2022. That's 132 weeks in a row of a consistent pattern for multiplayer. That's 4 complete cycles of a 31 reward sequence, and 8th in the 5th cycle sequence. I shipped the 2 words. All right. Unlike the challenge cycle, nothing is missing for multiplayer rewards. If the pattern holds, next week should be Master's Death card. So his stats seem pretty low, 1200 and 900 for a multiplayer exclusive. And, you know, it reflects the fact that along with Cassandra Cain Batgirl, he was one of the 2 first multiplayer exclusives. So back then, they weren't actually low stats. They were pretty good. And even though overall it's 2100, not a hugely impressive total, the fact that they're all in the, not all, they're weighted towards the damage side, that's how we like them. That's what matters. So the passive is interesting because not only does it trigger the opponent not being able to block, the special itself is unblockable without taking any reduction in damage. However, if you do block when he does it, it will break your block, but it also has a lower chance of being a critical hit. So there's at least a chance it won't do enough damage to knock out Ares' opponent. So the other danger, I guess, for Ares, if you're using that strategy where he's going to be your main damage dealer, if the opponent has blocking gear that reflects damage, for example, charged disc, you could actually not only not knock out the opponent, you could lose a bunch of health, even if Godsmack breaks the block. So the second part of the passive, that unblockable part, makes him a perfect teammate for Batgirl, as you can see in the numerous videos we've done on... Actually, that's technically not the second part. I keep on reading it like it's 2 parts, but it really is only the one ability. I think of it in my mind as the Godsmack is unblockable as one part, and then after that, if they survive. But yeah, it really is just one thing. So Batgirl's a teammate. So she gives him a second bar of power, gets him to Godsmack faster, and if his special 2 doesn't knock someone out, she can tag in for an unblockable Cloak of Destiny, League of Assassin's Knives Special 1 that does a ton of damage and splash damage. So, Ares, when he was first released, he was amazing. He was great for super fast multiplayer fights. However, the main counter against him, which is pretty common, is a revive. So back in the day, one revive was not a problem. You could get that from Fourth World Gears because a Batgirl Special 1 was enough for the rest of the team when you tag her in. Now that there are so many more common revive possibilities, especially a Blackest Night Hawkgirl team where you could have 3 opponents all with a revive, and you could stack some more in with Necron Scythe, somebody else with a couple Fourth World Gears. He's not nearly as fast as he used to be for completing a multiplayer fight if he's the main damage dealer. And because there's only the 2 gears that give power on tag in, Tantu Totem, Master's Death card, or not give power, but enough power to really get a super fast special, you can either give him both so that if someone survives the first tag in, he can try again with his next tag in, or you could give Master's Death card to Batgirl to help when he doesn't knock out someone. Unfortunately, you can't do both, and that limitation is really what slows down fights that used to be super fast. And one of the strategies that you can see in our Ares playlist is Hawkgirl. She's our tank. She has Astro Harness, so we keep her out of first slot. If the opponent has a revive that we can see when we check, because we know the characters or because we check their gears, instead of tagging in and dropping a Godsmack bomb, we tag in Ares, only use 1 bar of power, tag Batgirl back in for a special 1, and if that doesn't get us to our first revive, we just repeat with Ares doing a special 1 and then Batgirl again until we can use a Godsmack and know that it will knock out the opponent. I guess the other counter against Ares, whose main feature is doing the Godsmack repeatedly because Tantu Totem gives full power back if you knock out your opponent, is an entry hazard, like Gaslight Batman, which prevents Master's Death card from giving the 2nd bar of power, or Arkham Knight Harley Quinn. So if she happens to come in with her machine gun, you can't do a special 2 immediately. You get your power, but it leaves you vulnerable to being attacked by the opponent in front of you. And we've done tons of variations of teams with him. You should really check out the playlist linked in the description. Lots of fun ways to play with Ares. In the store, there is the Red Sun Pack 2. And for those of you who were playing way back when, the Red Sun Pack 1 used to only have 3 original Red Sun characters. It's $24.99 Canadian. It's been that way for a long time. When it was first introduced, it was $26.99, probably the exchange rate with the US, but it's pretty much around the same. You get 3 out of the 6 Red Suns, and there's 6 Red Sun characters. They are 16% each, except for, so you can tell 16% times 6 only takes you to 96%. Solomon Grundy, who gets the extra 4% chance, he's 20%. So they stick the extra chance on the worst Red Sun character. We also have the Survivor Pack for 595,000 power credits. It is Teen Titans Cyborg, animated Harley Quinn, and animated Batman Beyond. 585. 595? I can't even see. I don't have it in front of me. So based on the other Survivor packs that we've all seen, it seems like it should have been the Arkham Origins Deathstroke, Batgirl, and Containment Doomsday one, because that was the one that has not been here the most recently. The last time it was here was August 2022, and we just had this Teen Titans Cyborg one September 2022. So there doesn't really seem to be any particular rhyme or reason. Sorry, it's 595. That was a typo in my notes. 595 confirmed. So what else is going on? There's the second week of the character bundle Rebirth team. And yeah, a bunch of other packs that have been around for more than a year, almost 2 years for some of them. So it's probably not worth going into too much detail. And Phantom Zone has still got one more week left. Last weekend's breakthrough... Fight 62 is still broken. Last weekend's breakthrough for Golds was, as expected, Lex Luthor, Batman, and Doomsday. This coming weekend is probably Bane, Killer Frost, and Ares. There's a link in the description to a thread in the Injustice mobile subreddit from Devlin16 that goes over the complete breakthrough cycle. And as far as current glitches go, We will go into more detail every time something significant changes, which hasn't happened for a while. But even if nothing changes, we will do a more detailed review once a month, the first week of every month. Most recently, that was a recap from July the 6th, 2023. You can also see a video tutorial for every working glitch in our playlist, Current Glitches, linked in the description of this video and at the eye in the top right corner of this video. The one thing always worth mentioning is that the challenge reset glitch has been confirmed to be working on this week's Arkham Knight challenge. And that's it. This is where we give a big thank you to our supporters on Patreon, and that would be Alexis M, supporting us on the Your Message Here tier, Michael Devries, Irvin, Ruiz, and Hoshi 127, who are supporting us on the credited level, and a few other people who have been generous enough to have supported us at some point during this pandemic. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Komoda.